I didn't do much for scouting this year, so I didn't have a buck picked out. Me and Nick decided to load up the horses, go up in the mountains, just see what we could turn up a few days before the archery season started. We started to turn up deer right away. Goal was to try to go through as many deer as we could and try to find something for opening morning to go after. The last day of August, it started to snow on us. So we just hung out in our tents, got out when we could when it broke, tried to do a little glassing, but it was pretty hard, pretty cloudy. Made us a fire that night, hung out, ate some dinner, went to bed pretty early. Got ready for opening morning. The next couple days was good. We was turning up deer every day, morning, night, sometimes middle of the day. We was just having trouble finding that one worth going after. So we just kept our heads down and kept going. We was having trouble finding a giant, but we did find a few deer that if they make it another year, they'll have some potential. After about 4 days up there, not turning up what we wanted, it was time for Nick to go back to work anyway. So we packed up, headed down, and I got ready for my next trip. There was a bad windstorm about a week before we headed up there, so there was a lot of deadfall for the horses to go over. We had to get off walk quite a bit. So it took about 6.5 hours to get up to where we wanted to go. But when we got up there, it was worth it. I watched this buck for about an hour. He ended up bedding about 150 yards from me. He just wasn't quite what I was looking for, and I thought I'd leave him alone, go see if I can find something bigger. Jordan found a 30-incher that he wanted, so we made a plan, and the next morning we went out and Jordan tagged out. Jordan spends most of his time chasing elk, so I was glad to see him get this deer. It was hard work for him. It paid off. We planned on leaving the next day, so I figured I would go try to get the buck with the inline. This buck wasn't real wide, but he had nice deep forks, full velvet, just a real pretty buck. He ended up taping out at 195 inches. So between that one and Jordan's 30-inch buck, it was a pretty good few days. Then it was time to go elk hunting.